I'm a black man with a bunch of money and having a crib in Brentwood and having the word spray painted over my gate, that lets you know I ain't too far removed and I still got a lot more work to do. And no matter how far money or access or how you become in life as an African-American man, female, they will always try to figure out a way to let you know that you still beneath them. And it's either one or two things at that point. You either cave into that notion or you just chalk it up and say, you know what? I'm gonna paint over this goddamn gate and I'm gonna make it taller.
Yeah. In the past, I think a lot of athletes were afraid of speaking out about, race, politics, social issues because they didn't want to jeopardize their endorsement opportunities. Do you think the relationship between athletes and companies has changed since when you entered the league?
I think so. I think, by athletes being able to use their voice for the greater good is given a lot of these companies a notion of, we should listen to what these athletes have to say.
It used to be the athlete shows up, says a few lines, stands in front of a product, but also he or she had to be kind of bland, right? Not provocative, not offending anyone. Hey, do you think that's changed as well?
I think they had to do what the company asked them, right? Sell a product, move this product for them. Now the company is saying, how do we work with you to tell your story? It's a real partnership now. There's no power, no one's more powerful than each other.
The companies are realizing and understanding that the athletes that they have a voice, and their voice carries more than just dribbling a basketball or swinging a racket. I think these athletes have so much more power than their respective sport and what we see them in, their uniform. Because we are educated and we do have feelings and we do have passion about things that go on and we have opinions.
I think it's really important for authenticity's sake to have the creative ideas, real language, real opinions of the athletes, and frankly anyone that we collaborate with from a marketing standpoint come through. That you don't want to just write a script and hand it to someone and have them read lines, but what are their ideas about how they move in the world?
When I first started the business, you would hear the word sponsorship a lot, and you would also hear brands talk about athletes as assets. They would literally say assets, and it always made my skin crawl. I would say it's people, they're not assets. So therefore, people change and people evolve. So even if you're a brand and you have a relationship or a partnership with an athlete or a musician or someone who's gonna endorse your brand, you have to treat them as they're your partner, as they're really your partner. You have to really understand what's important to them.
Thanks to social media now, athletes have such a platform to speak their mind, to share their lives. Do you feel that companies are ready to join them in supporting that?
I believe so, and I've had such great partnerships over the years, and I believe companies will continue to gravitate towards athletes who speak about things that's powerful and things that's moving. It's more important that I don't think that companies are afraid anymore. They're not afraid to join forces with an athlete or join forces with anyone that feels like this is how they feel about either the society of what's going on in today's world, or the junction of America, or who's running the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. And I don't think companies are afraid of that notion anymore.
We cannot deny that we are very divided, especially in the political arena.
Yeah, for sure.
Warriors said, if we had an invite, we're not going to the White House. LeBron, you called the president a bum.
Yeah, straight up.
How do you describe the climate for an athlete with a platform nowadays that want to talk about what's happening in our world?
Well, the climate is hot. The #1 job in America, the point of person, is someone who doesn't understand the people and really don't give a about the people.
What did you think when you first saw what LeBron said? What was your reaction to his conversation?
I said, go ahead. I want to hear more of that. Again, I don't think that we hear enough about what is really happening, off of the court. And I was so proud to have created a space for LeBron and KD to have an honest dialogue about race and culture and politics in America. How wonderful is that? How miraculous.
Conversation elicited a wide sort of variety of reactions, one of which was the predictable, stick to sports, shut up and dribble. What is your reaction to that?
You know, it makes me laugh in the beginning and at the end, and still now. I'm still laughing at the notion because we are more than just athletes. We are more than just shut up and dribble. You know, if that was the case, then Muhammad Ali would have just shut up and boxed. If that was the case, Bill Russell would have just shut up and dribbled the ball. If that was the case, Jackie Robinson would have just shut up and slid into home base. No, we're such more than that. I'm much bigger than just dribbling a basketball. You know, it could have been shut up and be a father. That would have been something I would have loved a lot better than you know, shut up and dribble the ball. But I think us as athletes, we're much powerful than that, and it starts all the way back since the great of time. So we will not shut up and dribble. That's the last thing we will do.
Hey, listen to my podcast on revolverpodcast.com. This is Julius Irving. Yeah, this is all new to me. I figured since I really wasn't that familiar with it on this side, being the interviewer, and I have been on the other side of it, that it probably would work, and I would either really like it a lot or detest it. And right now I like it. I think, you know, from a creative standpoint, trying to do justice to the guests, you know, let people become insiders in terms of some of their insights and some of their experiences. You know, everybody's story is different. You know, we've set it up so that the interviews have been conversational, more so than fixed agenda or trying to create shock reporting. You know, there's plenty of that out there. There's plenty of talking heads out there who, you know, thrive on being shock jocks. That's not who I am. So I try to, you know, take it to a level above the normal interview, but very much into the living room, sitting back, relaxed, and having a conversation with, you know, somebody who you either know or you want to know, and hopefully who you admire and respect, and who admires and respects you. So as an 18-year-old, between my ages 18 and 21, when I was in college, you know, I was a big follower of Dr. King. You know, he was the one who my parents thought was the proper leader of the country, you know, during those years, during the Kennedy years. You know, we had pictures of Dr. King in the house, we had pictures of John F. Kennedy. And it meant something for those to be up there, because that, to us, meant that, you know, those were the individuals who were doing the most for our people. So as a black man, a black athlete, you know, it really wasn't trying to run around like a chicken with his head cut off. It was a matter of staying the course in terms of, you know, my studies as a student athlete, priority with my sport, which got me there in the first place, and then, you know, doing the things that would keep me out of trouble. I think the times in which we live, it's kind of like not a recycling, because it's never gone away, but, you know, I mean, I came up in the 60s and the 70s. There was a lot of activism during that time, obviously with the, you know, the Olympic Games in '68, John Hines and Smith, and, you know, I had friends who were at that Olympiad. I was too young to go, just getting out of high school. So that was impactful with the raised fists, and, you know, obviously all the civil unrest in the nation during the 60s, 70s, and even moving towards the 80s, various assassinations of public figures. I mean, people had to react to a broken system, and I think we see a lot of that now in the 2000 teens. Where a lot of people feel the system is broken, and there's room for repair. So, you know, it's a wake-up call in terms of finding out who the leaders are and listening to what they have to say, and you know, making a choice as to whether you want to, you know, follow that person or someone else who has a similar stance but different stance, trying to arrive at the same place. I'm a longtime follower of the Spurs. You know, they're the former ABA team that has been the most successful. So I pull for them, except when they play 76ers. And just about everywhere else they play, I pull for them. You know, for a long time I always admired the way Tim Duncan played the game and approached it and provided leadership in a quiet way, but a very forceful way. So for that franchise to continue to be successful, that's important to me, and obviously for the 76ers speaking of 76ers, you know, to be resurgent in terms of, you know, getting back in the playoffs and getting back in the hunt. They got multiple representatives here, you know, playing in the Rising Stars game, playing in the regular All-Star game. So, you know, the 1-2 punch, I think, with Embiid and Simmons has proven to be very special and worth watching. And, you know, that's part of it. Part of it is fan appeal. The other part of it is getting W's versus losses. So they're doing both. And you know, they're going to be much better than they were last year. And, you know, that's something fans always want to see. And obviously, I guess that makes me a fan because I want to see it. Yeah, it was exciting to see the Eagles, man. Yeah, I didn't go like Kevin Hart, trying to go up and get the trophy, you know. But I was tempted to run on the field, believe me. It was talked about in our suite. Are we going on the field? I said, nah, that's okay.
LeVar, not your first time in London, of course, because you are a card-carrying member of the London Monarchs, right?
I was with the London Monarchs back in '95, the World Football League. I told him I was coming back. I just didn't tell him it was going to be 23 years before I got back.
It's quite a long gap, isn't it?
Yeah, man. You got to do some other things.
Has the city changed a lot?
The city has changed a lot, man. The last time I looked at the London Bridge and I saw Big Ben. Big Ben is covered up now.
What do you mean?
The clock is covered up. I guess they're doing some remodeling.
So you could work on that. Was they get the BBB
Put
brand
the triple
on Big
B's
Ben?
up there. I better send something in there. Last time I came, I didn't have a brand.
Big Ben brand. You
But
see
now
it?
I have a brand.
Well, that's why you're here.
Yes.
I'm going to tap you up for your London accent later on, so that's a heads up on that.
Oh,
now.
yes, of course.
You could do some of the interview.
Oh,
now.
just a little
That's
bit.
not
You can always
bad.
bring that
That's
up.
not bad. You are here, of course, in London to promote your brand. So for all our viewers in the UK who aren't familiar with Big Baller Brand, give me the elevator pitch.
Well, the Big Baller Brand is an independent company, family owned, and we out here to have a pop-up shop to show people our merchandise that we have and just trying to build a brand, not locally, but globally.
Because you're developing the brand beyond sneakers and beyond clothing.
Yes.
You announced you're going to have your own brand of water this week. Tell me about that.
Like I said, this is a growing empire.
Yeah.
They didn't think we was going to come like that. But like I said, over there in Lithuania, the best thing they got going is the water. And see, people's looking at all the stuff on top of the ground, the snow, how cold it is, the trees, the old buildings. And the best thing is underground. Nobody knew to look but the Big Baller. So we went across the water to get the water.
You're tapping into that. See, how much are you retailing the water? Because your sneakers are quite expensive.
They're quite expensive. We're an expensive brand.
Yeah.
You know, we're not just your regular old Rudy Poot brand. We up and coming. But we on a higher level. We're more prestigious.
That's why the pricing's at that level.
That's why it's at that level, and the fact that that's what I see it as. You know, if you got your own brand, you can come up and know what it's worth to you. Right. And that's what a lot of people don't do. It's just like people that get endorsed. If you do something, they're going to give you the price, even though you're doing all the acts in it. They say, you know what? I don't think it's worth that. It's worth this. I don't like that part.
Because you are key behind the marketing of the brand, so you know a thing about marketing. So what do I need to do to become a big baller? Because you've been quite outspoken about.
Well, to be a big baller, all you got to do is it's not just a namesake. It's a lifestyle. It's something that a big baller is somebody who goes for something that they want, regardless of what's going on. And my famous line is our big baller way is built for this. Because sometimes things get difficult and people will be like, well, I want that, but it gets too hard and I'll back up. I tried.
So you got to be confident in everything.
You got to be confident in what you're doing and just have a backing. Yes, exactly.
So Donald Trump, would you call him a big baller?
I ain't gonna call Donald Trump a big baller.
Okay. He did that, didn't he? He kind of ran for president. Nobody said he could do it.
Everybody said he's not gonna do it. He said he went and did his thing.
How far can the baller brand go? Because you got clothing, you got water, you keep on keeping on. How far do you want to take it?
I'm going to take it as far as my vision sees, and that's beyond. So it's not like a set point where we're going to be like, oh, we got here, we good. Because it's not even about the money thing right now. See, sometimes people do things for money, and let's say you bought everything you want. What's left? You better have a passion to do something. And you know, our passion is making this empire as big as possible. So when you look back, you're going to look back and say, wow, a lot of things changed as far as nobody's doing endorsement deals no more. They're doing co-branding. A lot of people's going their own way. And they're going to look and see a picture of the big baller like this.
You seem pretty averse to criticism, because you get a lot of criticism. You know,
Oh,
from all
you're
quarters, but
going
you
to
just seem
get
to
that.
knock it off. How do you do that mentally? How do you get around
Well,
that?
mentally, just from being young, you get it, where you're not going to please everybody. So 50% of the people going to love what you do. And then the other 50% going to be like, man, they jealous and they going to hate. But it comes with the territory if you're up here. Let's say I don't have nothing going for me. Nobody's going to say nothing. Now, would I rather nobody be saying nothing or be very successful when everybody's got something to say about it?
Right. You can please some of the people some of the time, but
Yeah,
not all
but
the people all the time.
exactly. But I'm not even trying to do that. You have to be within yourself. And as long as you please yourself, you're fine. It's just like I tell them about my boys playing basketball. They're not worried about what people are saying about them. They're trying to become the best basketball players in the world ever.
Control the things they can
Yes.
control. We'll talk about your boys in a minute. One thing that's occurred to me with the brand, because you've got, you know, your boys world-class athletes,
Right.
2 in the making, 1 already there.
Right.
It is quite convenient that you've launched a brand, quite lucky, and your name's Ball.
Right.
I mean, you could be
Well,
a
it's not
Smith,
lucky, it's
you
just
could be a
skill.
Jones. I mean,
Yes.
that's quite a lucky brand.
But everything lines up. It's not lucky. It's just good. Everything lines up for this.
Smith, big baller brand. If you had, you know, it wouldn't be the same if it was
It's
Smith
not going
or
to be the
Jones.
same.
It's not going to be the same. So
That's what I used to tell
that was a
girls,
lucky
man. I said, if
brand.
you can't call me LeVar, call me Mr. Ball. And they said, oh, man.
How did that go?
No, that's Mr. Ball. That's what it is.
Right. Actually, it's Valentine's Day, isn't it? So you're in London for Valentine's Day.
Valentine's
What's
Day.
the key? Come on, you're a marketeer, you're a brand guy. What's the key to the perfect Valentine's night?
The perfect Valentine's
Perfect
night?
Valentine's date. How do you take care of business?
I would say stay home with your woman.
Stay home.
Don't go stand in no lines trying to prove everybody you can buy a rose and you want everybody else to see. Cook her something, stay at home. I bet you'd be a lot better.
What'd you cook?
What would I cook?
Yeah.
Tacos, of course.
Tacos?
Tacos and burritos. Big baller style.
And wash it down?
Man,
Sorry,
wash
guys.
it down with some nice big glass of cold milk.
Now, you're building a dynasty in a way. I did a bit of maths, right? It's not my strong suit, but I did a bit of maths, and I worked out that if all 3 of your boys make it to the NBA,
Yes.
they all have, say, 2 boys,
Okay.
right? And they play in the NBA, and then your grandkids have 3 boys, and they play in the NBA. By the year 2086, everybody in the NBA is going to be a Ball.
Shoot.
Yeah?
If they ain't
Can
going to be
dominate.
a ball, at least they're going to have a ball.
They're going to be dominating the
Yes.
NBA by then.
Dominating the NBA.
Now, Lonzo likes a bit of rapping as well. I
Yes.
noticed, yeah.
Yes.
But I was interested in the fact he said he doesn't like the old stuff as much as the new stuff. How did that go down with you?
Why would you like the old stuff if you got some new stuff?
Well, you draw a lot of influence from old stuff. You look at...
Okay, you draw influence from it, but then take it to the next level.
True, okay.
So that's what's happening
So
now.
you haven't tried to school him on some of the older school
I'm not
rappers
gonna
and
school- You know
artists?
what? He's going to like who he likes. But when he was growing up, he listened to 50 Cent,
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg.
Well, they're old school, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm listening to.
Yeah,
so
right.
if you're rolling with me and you're 2 years old, you ain't got no choice in the
So
matter.
he was listening
yes,
to them. Okay,
he was
all
listening to
right.
West.
That's good to know.
Listen to Ice Cube, West Side Connection,
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
So Zoe takes to that, and then you got Lil Wayne growing up in that era. I mean, a little further down when he's like 12 or 13, then he's really taking a
So he
liking to
has
it.
taken them all, all right.
Yes, he's taking all that, but you can have the old school and the new school, and you can make an opinion on what you like.
Yeah,
it's
true.
not a big deal.
Yeah, yeah. No, it wasn't a knock. I just didn't know he was into the old school.
Man,
and I figured you
yes.
might have shown him a
Yes.
few things growing up.
Yeah, he gonna listen to some DMX, 50 Cent, all that when I'm growing up.
Yeah, good. I'm glad to hear that. How's he doing recovering from his injury?
Oh, he's doing good. He's doing good on the fact that they got some things they got him doing to strengthen his knee, and it's more on the technical side when you get on a higher level. So they have these rubber bands, and they have all this treatment. Now, if he was with me, he'd be ready to go by now, because I'll put him in the heels, go old school.
Just
Make him do some
play through it.
squats. And no, you ain't gonna play through it, but you're gonna straighten up the real way. You ain't gonna straighten up with me rubbing some stuff on your leg.
I got it like kind of drill sergeant.
I'm gonna
style.
make you go up the hill backwards. You know,
Wow.
jogging forward, side to side. But you get it old school. It's just like instead of going to run. See, right now, the high class stuff when you're working out. Hey, Lonzo, get on the treadmill. All you gotta do is pick your feet up. The belt is taking your foot back. I ain't gonna put you on no treadmill. How about you go up that hill on your own? You don't step right. You ain't going nowhere.
Have you told him this?
I ain't gonna tell him that.
You
He's
haven't
over
told
there in
him
LA living a luscious style. Let them do it their way.
Just get on Skype and tell him.
Yes.
Tell me about this Facebook series you guys are doing.
The Facebook series that we're doing, man, is something good for us on the fact that we had some some TV networks come at us and try to get us to do this. But my brother was like, this is the best opportunity for us on the fact that we can do us. There's no breakdowns where we can't say this and we can't say that.
You control it?
We control this.
Is that the risk with more traditional
it's just like
TV?
our narrative. Whatever we're doing is what we're doing.
How's it going?
It's going great. The show is great on the fact that it's not fake. It's wholesome. It's a family-oriented, but it's not scripted where it's like, okay, we're going to have somebody throw a drink on somebody and let's get something going on. No, it's just the Ball family is very interesting on the fact that the way I am, I speak a lot of stuff that's on my mind. People want to say the stuff that I say, but they can't. One reason being, if you're working for somebody, you got to hold your tongue or you're going to get fired. Me, no holds barred.
You work for you.
I work for me. Like
but it ruffles feathers sometimes.
It's going to ruffle feathers because they want to say stuff, but they can't come at me.
Let's take the Lakers, right?
I'll take the Lakers.
Luke Walton. Can we go ahead? Can we talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about the Lakers.
Some of the things you said about the Lakers.
Right.
And this goes back to what we said before, that you can't please everybody all the time. Some of the things you said about that have ruffled some feathers, and people have come out. Luke Walton, you've said a few things there.
Here, let me reiterate on this. What I say about anything is my opinion.
Sure.
Okay, I can say what the hell I want. And they act like people are coming to me and saying, LeVar, look at this, look at that. No, I can see with my own eyes. If I did not say Luke Walton didn't have control of the team and they weren't winning. They was just in a cycle. But I knew the backlash was coming. But I had to do that in order for them to move forward. Because this is what I was thinking. If I say something like this, they're going to do two things. One is everybody going to jump off the ship and they're going to put somebody else up in there, which is fine. I ain't saying fire Luke, but I'm holding him accountable. Don't be like, oh, we got a young team, we'll figure it out. No. You a young coach. You start figuring this out. You got enough talent. So either they all jump off board or they all band behind him and say, it's us against the world.
So it's win-win.
Win-win, it's us against the world. But look what it is now. Ever since I said that, they've been winning.
Has to do with it. So you think those comments have kickstarted
those comments, they should be thanking me right now. They should be thanking me right now.
You check your email after this, and Luke might have dropped you a line. You said as well, there's another thing you came out with recently that got a bit of criticism, that you want all three brothers to play for the same team.
Yes.
If it's not going to be the Lakers, then you're going to move them all somewhere else that will take all three.
That'll take all three.
And that got some criticism. Stephen Smith, your old friend.
Stephen Smith, a friend.
He's faker
than a $3 bill.
Slightly sarcastic. He said the comments are out of bounds and idiotic.
Yes.
He said, which is
because
quite heavy.
He's an employee, so he has to say things like this. He don't have his own mind. Stephen A. has no business intellect whatsoever. Just because he got a big forehead and he think he a big shot, he's not. Because he don't know how to roll like this. So he has to make comments. Nobody's really paying attention to what he says unless he says something with LeVar.
He's got quite a big following now.
Following who?
Well, following his shows.
A lot of folks I know don't follow him.
Okay.
Because they know he's not real.
Did you say that slightly for effect, or do you mean it that you want all three guys to play on the same team?
What father wouldn't want all his kids to play on the same team?
I'll relate to that.
There has been brothers that have played on the same team. What's the big deal? J.R. Smith and his brother.
It's great that they play on the same team.
Now that I say it, everybody, oh, wait a minute, no, can't happen.
But you said they have to play on the same team, otherwise that's different, right?
I don't say I never said they have to play on the same team. Okay. I said I want them to play on the same team.
Work there,
they do best playing together.
Sure. Okay.
The last time my three boys got together, 35-0. That's the last time they all three played together.
Right.
Tell me what brothers have done that, anybody who's done that on any level. And don't act like my sons are not going to get better as they grow up. They think they're going to stay at the same high school level or college level. No. My boys get better and better every year. Now, I'll tell you what, when three of them get on the same team, which a lot of people don't want, because they know that balance, my boys will figure it out and be champions on the fact that not only they looking at me like the father wants this, the ball boys are good for business. They're good for business. So why not put them together? And after LeBron and KD and all them are 30-something years old and on their way out, the face of the NBA, the three ball brothers, and they only 20-something years old?
I get that.
Everybody will come and watch the Lakers.
You know what else? You know what else, LeVar? If they're all playing for the Lakers, you don't have that problem in the household of brothers playing for different teams against each other. That's
Thank you.
See,
we don't have
conflict.
That.
No conflict.
Look, everybody stays in the same. It's better for my boys. It's better for the Lakers. It's better for everybody. If you can think of any your cons and pros and stuff that think of something bad that would happen, the ball boys being together. Think of something bad. Nobody can do that. But they don't want me to be right so they can say, oh, I told him so. It ain't even about that. But just straight business and the way my boys got that championship pedigree, you think they're not going to figure it out how to win every time? And the championship is like every year, the ball boys? Because everybody else going to be falling down. They're going to be getting older. Steph Curry, everybody. And then, check it out. 5 years go by, guess how old my son's going to be? 25 years old. That's 5 years in the league.
That's peak.
That's like, dude, you just starting?
Let's
Melo
talk about
will be 23.
Let's talk about LiAngelo and LaMelo in Lithuania then. Because they're playing together. You talk about playing together. They're playing together now, and things are turning around for the
Every
team.
time they play together, something good happens.
Good things happen.
But it's hard for an old Lithuanian team to say, you know what, let's put two American teenagers in our lineup and watch us win. So now it makes
the fans, they're worried because they're not homegrown players. Are they concerned about that?
Lithuania was nothing. Nobody even heard Lithuania. That's all to come out your mouth now. Lithuania, Lithuania, Lithuania. Why? Because the ball boys have reemerged over in Lithuania.
Lithuania on the map.
Yeah, we put Lithuania on the map. Nobody even thought about them. But you got two teenagers over there and all the eyeballs. Because I go back and tell you what I tell basketball is not pressure. You know why? What is basketball? Entertainment. Instead of going to the movies, instead of going doing something, fishing or going anything, just go watch a basketball game. Win or lose, you're still going to go home, go to your job, wake up, eat, sleep, do whatever.
How's your relationship with their coach in Lithuania?
It's a little touchy. On the fact that it started off good, and then it broke off the wrong way because you don't want to have change. You don't want to have change. So you show me a little disloyalty. Now I got to be like, hey, look around you. You guys were losing before my boys got here. Nobody was coming to the games. Now all of a sudden, the ball boys emerge in Lithuania. More eyes.
Sure.
More Facebook.
It's good for business.
Good for business, like I told them. So let's go with change.
Would you be willing to take over from him if you were asked?
If I was asked to take over right now, I'd take over in a heartbeat. On the fact that it would change European basketball because they'll start running more. I get it. When you play a slow game and it's not entertaining and you win it, okay, it's good for you to do a little half-court set. But for the fans, we don't want to see that. That's why it's not a big thing over here. There's no action.
You'd have them running backwards up a hill, like
man. I have them getting in such better shape that you'll watch games and it'd be like in the NBA games in the hundreds. You never hear nobody say, you know what? I want you to come watch this guy play. He's the best defensive player I've ever seen in my life. He can slide his feet good. He can block shots. Sure. Nobody says that.
Purists. A couple of purists would say that.
Yeah. Purists, and nobody care about them. They're too pure. Right. Sit over there and drink some pure orange juice.
Pleasure chatting to you. Good luck.
Hey, pleasure with you, man. Enjoyed it.
Enjoyed it, man.
Yes.